got on. Do go and change them.
Cecily!
What's the matter, Uncle Jack? Do look happy. You look as if you have a toothache. And I've got such a surprise. Who do you think is in the dining room? Your brother! Your brother, Ernest. He arrived about half an hour ago.
I don't have a brother.
Oh, don't say that. However badly he may have behaved to you in the past, he's still your brother. You couldn't be so heartless to disown him. I'll tell him to come out here, and you will shake hands with him, won't you, Uncle Jack?
These are joyous tidings.
After we had all been resigned to his loss, his sudden return seems to me particularly distressing.
My mother, in the dining room. I don't know what it all means. I think it's perfectly absurd. Good heavens!
Brother John, I have come down from town to tell you that I'm entirely sorry for all the trouble I have given you, and that I intend to lead a better life in the future.
Go away!
Uncle Jack, you're not going to refuse your own brother's hand.
Nothing will induce me to take his hand. His coming up here is perfectly disgraceful. He knows perfectly well why.
Uncle Jack, do be nice. There is some good in everyone. Ernest has just been telling me about his poor invalid friend, Mr. Bundle. He goes to visit so often.
I admit the faults were entirely on my side, but I must say, I think Brother John's coldness to me to be peculiarly painful. I expected a more enthusiastic welcome, especially since this is the first time I've come here.
Uncle Jack, if you don't shake hands with Ernest, I will never forgive you.
I suppose I must then.
Jack!
It is pleasant, is it not, to see so perfect a reconciliation? We might keep the two brothers together.
Cecily, you will come with me.
Certainly, Miss Prism.
Out! You must get out of here at once! I do not allow any bumbering here!
I have put Mr. Ernest's things in a room next to your own, sir. I suppose that is all right?
What?
I really can't say what's going to be this time.
Great! All the dog at once! Mr. Ernest has been suddenly called back to town.
Yes, sir.
Jack, Cecily is a darling.
You are not to talk about this party like that.
I don't like it!
Well, I don't like them. You look perfectly ridiculous in them. It is perfectly childish to be in deep mourning for a man who happens to be staying for a week in your house. I call it grotesque.
If you want to stop staying in my house as a guest or anything else, you must leave by the 4-5 train!
But I certainly will leave you while you're in mourning. It would be most unfriendly. If I were in mourning, stay with me, I suppose. I should think it very unkind if you did.
Would you go if I change my clothes?
Yes, if you're not too long about it. I never saw anyone take so long to dress with such little result.
Well, as elegant as being always overdressed as you are!
Oh, there you are. Oh, I nearly came back to, water the flowers. I thought you were with Uncle Jack.
He's gone to order the dog cart for me.
Oh, is he going to take you for a nice drive?
He's going to send me away.
And we've got to part?
I'm afraid so.
The dog cart is at the door, sir! It can wait, Marilyn, for 5 minutes. Yes, miss.
I hope I shall not offend you, Cecily, if I state quite frankly and openly that you seem to be, in every way, the visible personification of absolute perfection.
I think your frankness does you great credit, Ernest. If you allow me, I will copy your remarks into my diary.
Do you really keep a diary? I'd give anything to look at it, may I?
Oh, no. You see, this is simply a very young girl's record of her meeting until next week at the same hour.
No, I don't care about Jack. I don't care about anyone in the whole world but you. I love you, Cecily. You will marry me, won't you?
You silly boy. Why, we've been engaged for the last 3 months.
The last 3 months?
Yes, to be exactly 3 months on Thursday.
But when did we become engaged?
Well, ever since dear Uncle Jack first confessed to us that he had a younger brother, he was very wicked and bad. You, of course, have formed the chief topic of conversation between myself and Miss Prism. And of course, a man who is much talked about is always very attractive. I dare say it was foolish of me, but I fell in love with you, Ernest.
Darling! And when was the engagement actually settled?
On the 14th of June last, worn out by your entire ignorance of my existence, I determined to end the matter one way or the other. And after a long struggle with myself, I accepted you here. The next day, I bought this little ring in your name. And this is the bangle, which you love us not. I promised you always to wear.
Did I give you this? It is very pretty, isn't it?
Yes, you've wonderfully good taste, Ernest. It's the excuse I've always given for your leading such a bad life. And this is the box in which I keep all your dear letters.
My own sweet Cecily, I've never written you any letters.
You need hardly remind me of that, Ernest. I remember only too well that I was forced to write your letters for you. I wrote always 3 times a week and sometimes oftener.
Oh, do let me read them.
Oh, I couldn't do that. It would make you far too conceited.
What a perfect angel you are, Cecily!
I hope your hair curls naturally.
Yes, darling! With a little help from others.
I'm so glad.
You'll never break off our engagement, will you, Cecily?
Oh, I don't think I can do that now that I've actually met you. Besides, there is the question of your name.
Yes, of course.
You must not laugh at me, darling. But it has always been a girlish dream of mine to love someone whose name was Earnest. There is something in that name that seems to inspire absolute confidence. I pity any poor married woman whose husband is not called Earnest.
Yes, but my own sweet child, do you mean to say that you could not love me if I had some other name?
But what name?
Oh, any name you like. Algernon, for instance.
I don't like the name Algernon.
Well, I really can't see why you should object to the name of Algernon. It is not at all a bad name. In fact, it is rather an aristocratic name. But seriously, Cecily, if my name was Algie, couldn't you love me?
I might respect you, Ernest. I might admire your character. But I fear I would not be able to give you my undivided attention.
Cecily, your rector here is, I suppose, thoroughly practiced in all the rites and ceremonials of the church.
Oh yes, Dr. Chasuble is a most learned man. He's never written a single book, so you can imagine how much he knows.